One day I just snapped. I had to realize something. This whole time, it's not that I've been crazy. It's that the world has been crazy. Life has almost been an infinite gaslight in a sense. How is it that it starts so early? It starts so early. For some reason, the kid that always asks questions, why were we learning stuff? Hey, how is this going to benefit my life? They were always bashed and ridiculed by the class and the teacher, but realistically, they were just trying to figure out answers, right? It all started from that point. But then it extends to anytime you're trying to make your life better, anytime you are trying to improve yourself, for some reason, it's almost as if the world is programmed to go against you. And one day I just snapped. Why do I need to sit here and explain to you why I'm going today without eating? Don't you know that the waste from all the processed food is sticking to your intestines, sticking to your internal organs, and yet I'm the crazy one when I tell you, hey, I need a day off. I need a day off so I can fast and so I can get all this waste out of my system, but I'm looked at like I'm crazy. It's almost as if the average person is programmed to literally be your opposition when you say, okay, I want to elevate in life. And it's all a temporary process, but in the beginning, man, I just noticed everything that was good for me tended to be contrary to the popular opinion. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy? Our body is meant to be in motion, and yet what is promoted in society? Sitting down, hunching your back, and being at a desktop. Really? We're supposed to be eating healthy food, and yet why do I look down every corner and see a load of crap served on a silver platter for you to eat? Delectable. No. If you're not willing to look at the world as if the world is crazy, you're gonna go crazy. And one day I just snapped. And some people get it, some people don't. Again, the world is either gonna drive you crazy or you're gonna point at them like, nah, you're crazy. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. And I find it funny because when I was in my history class, what I recalled was seeing these periods of history where the civilians pretty much were doing a bunch of bull crap. They didn't know what they were talking about. They were engaged in all these stupid activities. And we look at it in hindsight and we're like, how could they do that at that point in time? But that point in time is right now. That's us right now. We're living crazy and no one wants to really call it out. But as you start to kind of see through the illusion, you will be looked at like you're crazy. And one day I just snapped. I just snapped, man. It'll be the people closest to you, man. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them make you feel like you're this oddball who's not on to something. You're on to something. If something doesn't feel right to you, if you know you should be doing more and the people around you are not propelling you, they're not encouraging you, understand that they're the crazy ones, not you. A lot of people are walking around unhappy. They have copy and paste fake plastered smiles glued to their face and they're wondering why they don't feel good. How are you going to feel good? Every day you wake up and you're a fraud. You fraud. And for me, I had to realize either I'm authentic or I'm nothing. Either I face this world with authenticity or I don't face it at all. And I don't care about the trends. I don't care about what's quote unquote acceptable, normal. If you are normal in this crazy world, you should be concerned. Again, I'm gonna say that again. If you are normal in this crazy world, you should be very concerned, because why would I want to be normal in a society that is objectively crazy, that is objectively going down the wrong path? You want to be normal in that, bro? Okay, so you're an accomplice. You're complicit. Okay. I mean, hey, to each his own, right? But me, I snapped one day. I snapped. I realized that this trap, everyone is mentally trapped. It's not a physical trap. I mean, unless you go to jail, right? But this is a mental trap. Society is made to mentally entrap you into certain ideas, certain beliefs that keep you limited. And I'm not going to be limited anymore. Nah. Why would I be? Why do I have to? When I can just be me. Again, man, like everyone who's notable in society, anyone who did something, they all just had the nuts to be themselves, man. They didn't have some special ability. These people weren't flying. They weren't doing any of that. They were just themselves. And it takes a lot of courage to be yourself, especially in this copycat world where everyone just wants to be like the next man. You want to figure out what everyone else is doing. It's like, figure out what you want to do. And I was crazy because I had that mentality. I know so many of you guys watching this video, you were looked at as crazy, man. You were looked at as crazy. Something would happen and then it's like, I told you so. But you don't need to keep going through that. You got nothing to prove to anyone else. If you already know it, it doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. Let them live how they want to live. But when I go outside, I don't see a bunch of happy, fulfilled people. So that tells me maybe there's something wrong with the way we live life. Maybe, just maybe, we're missing something. I mean, this is just my rationale, but if everything was all good in the hood, wouldn't we see that? Wouldn't we see the proof in the pudding, everyone walking around feeling happy, fulfilled? The fact that that's not happening lets you know that, okay, we're missing the plot. And I always had that eerie feeling ever since I was in diapers. I always could sense, okay, there's almost like a shroud, a veil of darkness that's subtly been placed over the world. And I couldn't really understand where it was coming from. I always felt it there, but I had a hard time seeing it. I had a hard time grasping it. But finally, I understand what it is. I'm starting to decode the matrix. And everything about it is weak. It's just low levels of energy. And you will be gaslit once you start to see through the illusion because it needs to pull you back in. It wants to siphon your energy. The people in your life, think about the people in your life who you've come across. It seemed like their job to make you miserable. They almost seem designed to take your energy. They always wanted something from you. They said, you got energy, give me that. They always seem to want to take, like it's their program. You're like, dang, are you even a person? And it's all part of the design. It's all part of the design. And if you have the potential to see through it, you're always going to be framed as if you're crazy because this world doesn't need more people waking up. I mean, not if it's going to continue like this. That's what the people in power know. They understand that if you can see through the illusion that most people cannot, you are a threat. And threats tend to be dealt with. So it was never a personal thing. It was never the world thinks I'm crazy, there's something wrong with me. No, you're just a worthy adversary. You can see through the illusion. I go outside and it's like I can see exactly what's going on. Everyone is just moving robotically, they're just walking around moving, and it's like, dang, I'm just looking at it like, this doesn't look good. I don't know. Am I crazy or am I the crazy one? No, I think you're the crazy one. I think they're the crazy ones. I don't think I'm crazy. And yet, anytime someone brings just a different opinion to the table, the world just seems to attack it. You try to break generational curses within your family. You're looked at like you're the weird one, like you're the black sheep. Like, I'm sorry, do you want me to just sit here and not say anything when I see you guys doing something harmful? Do you want me to keep my mouth shut when I see something corrupt that we could easily fix? But Again, when you know you're right, when you know you have knowledge that's valuable, you don't really have anything to prove because you know. The beauty of breaking the illusion is you no longer have anything to prove. What do I need to prove anything to you for? What do I need to prove to you when the proof is already in the pudding? And it's funny because the equation is so simple and yet it's brilliant. Don't let this world gaslight you into thinking you're crazy. You're not crazy. Everyone else is crazy. Well, rather, to be more accurate, everyone else is under the spell, under the illusion. Woo! I was under it too. But then I always knew, even when I was under it, even when I was in hell, even when I felt at my lowest point, I still looked up like there's no way this is life. But not everyone else is like that. So if you're like that, if you are in a negative place and you always knew something was wrong with the world and you look up and you look around and no one else sees it, understand you are not the crazy one. And do not be discouraged because with knowledge, they say knowledge is a curse. It's a gift, but sometimes it can feel like a curse because you're all alone out here. I mean, we're out here. The people who know. You know, the chosen, they know, but at the end of the day, man, far and few in between. Some people you can go down the street and you see copies of them everywhere, man. Some people you just don't find on the corner. You don't find them on the street corner. It's awareness. It's not anything special. It's just awareness. In order to see through things, in order to really comprehend what's in front of you, you just need to be aware. You just need to be present. And this society has a funny way of making you less present. They make you less present, but they do it in a subtle way to where you feel as though, oh no, I'm here, I'm present. No, you're not. You're like a hollow shell walking around, but you don't want to admit to the fact you're a hollow shell. And the funny thing is, it wasn't until I started to gain more awareness that I realized how the lack of awareness that I had. It wasn't until I started to improve, I understood that I was really walking around as damn near a corpse. A corpse. I would say, if I had to estimate, I would say most people are walking around at maybe 10% of themselves. No joke. 10%. Imagine living your life at 10% and wondering why it doesn't feel good. That's everybody right now. Life doesn't feel good because we're operating on an empty battery. Well, nah, I'm charging the phone. But then it's like you plug in the charger and whoa, what's he doing? Why is he plugging in the charger? Well, what do you mean? We need the energy, we need the battery, but I'm the crazy one. Okay, I'm the crazy one, sure. I'll just put my hands up and I'll nod slowly and, yep. You're living in the matrix and yet I'm the crazy one, okay. You know, it's always funny because some of the most brilliant minds, for their time, don't let the history books fool you. Like they were just getting round of applause. They were getting ridiculed. They were getting laughed at. They were getting downplayed because they had knowledge that other people didn't have the foresight to comprehend. They had the knowledge already, but they were still looked at as crazy because the world wasn't ready for it yet. They weren't ready to accept it yet. And it's the lack of acceptance from the world that you'll feel at times that makes you feel as though you're crazy. Bro, you're not crazy. You're not crazy, man. And it's so brilliantly designed because even without people realizing it, they become your opposition the more you try to wake up and break free from the trap. It's like, it's literally a computer program. Body snatching. You're talking to someone, the conversation's going good. As soon as you start to seem a little bit too aware, all of a sudden, nah, this dude's tripping, he's crazy. Nah, maybe I like to do the thinking and I don't like to let the media do the thinking for me. That's just me though. Because one thing I realized is it's one thing to restate something that someone else says to me, and then it's a completely different thing to actually think for myself. Thinking for yourself is a far cry from being told how to think. And what does school emphasize? Memorization. It doesn't emphasize creating original thoughts, original thought patterns, being unique. I don't know about you. I didn't learn that from school. I learned that from reading. I learned that from taking the extra step to educate myself beyond the realms of standardized education. And at the end of the day, everything I'm talking about, it is contrary to the status quo. And I want you guys, if you're watching this video, just evaluate your current life. You know, all those moments you went contrary to the status quo, didn't you feel better? When you didn't just do what you were told and you actually did what you felt like you should do, the thing that was actually good for you that wasn't being emphasized, isn't it amazing how you just felt better? How life started to make more sense when you stopped being a robot? I mean, it's so insane, man, when I think about it, because everything in this life has been geared towards control. You step out of line in class and you get written up. You're at the job and, oh no, don't lean on that wall, or oh shoot, you're in trouble, right? Or socially, you don't want to be looked at as weird, so you get in public and you're all rigid because, I don't feel comfortable in my skin. I don't want anyone to think I'm weird. Bro, you're alive one time, and I'll be damned if the world tries to convince me that I'm crazy. I'm not the crazy one. They're the crazy ones. And I'm standing firm in my beliefs. Why? Because it's Dipsy. With enough hard work, dedication, and belief in oneself, anyone is capable of becoming a true champion. I'll catch you guys later. Make sure you do something positive today, and peace out.